Now, I want to play a monk character, but for what I've got in mind, none of the monk traditions really speak to me.
Well, Ted, if none of these monastic traditions work for you, perhaps we can find something over on D&D Beyond Homebrew. Let's take a look at the top 10 D&D Homebrew subclasses for the monk.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
And I'm Nerdarchy Dave. Welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds.
Well, let's beat feet and fists into this video.
So as usual with these videos, we're going to take a look at the top 10. And how do we come up with the top 10? Well, we decided we'll let the people decide what they think the top 10 is, or at least what they're most interested in. So we go to the most viewed. That seems to equate to like popular ideas anyway in our mind. And so we're going to go through the list of the top 10, and then we'll pick one to talk about. So we've got Way of the Four Elements Remastered, Way of the Ninja, Abandoned Frostfire, Way of the Shadow Soul, Way of the Drunken Fist, Way of the Spell Slayer, Way of the Brawler, Way of the Lightning Storm, Way of the Red Oni, and Way of Tranquility.
There's definitely a lot of things that are in there that speak to some of the things that already exist, so maybe they weren't exactly thrilled with the ones that WotC created. So, you know, it's interesting to see. So
or Unearthed Arcana that didn't make it to official content.
True.
As always, over on the website, you can go and find more takes on the top 10 by a factor of 3. We have the monastic traditions over there. There will be a link in the description. You can probably find a card up here and click on that and go check that as well. Also, since we're using D&D Beyond heavily for this video, it's only fair to mention they are a sponsor for Nerdarchy, specifically for this video. So you can go over there, and I believe you can log in for free and follow along and take a look at the homebrew content.
If you're looking for another way to support Nerdarchy, to keep making videos like this and those articles over on nerdarchy.com, why not check us out on Patreon and support us over there?
As a special thank you, you'll receive 5e content for DMs and players alike. What are we making over there? We're making subclasses, races, feats, magic items, spells. We even turn some of those magic items into print and play cards. We take some of the maps from our games, throw them up there as well, drop in encounters, a chance to game with Nerdarchy, and more. You can even download a free sample of our Patreon rewards. There will be a link in the description and probably one of these cards up here as well.
We're going to take a look at the one that we picked. It might not be the most viewed, but out of that top 10, we select one that we feel deserves to be talked about. And for this one, we're looking at Way of the Brawler by John Apocalypse. Far less mystical than most monks, brawlers are brutal fist fighters who hone their abilities in street fights and bar brawls. Brawlers focus more on physical perfection than spiritual perfection. They fight with more desperation and brutality. Their techniques focused on violence rather on elegance.
All right, so we're going to start off with our closed fist technique at 3rd level. The Brawler Monk focuses on more physical fitness and martial arts mastery than mystical energy. At 3rd level, whenever you make a flurry of blows, you may declare each unarmed attack in the flurry a style strike, gaining an additional effect on a hit. Elbow strike. Make an additional unarmed attack. After this one, the additional attack cannot be declared as a style strike, and the damage dice decreased by one size. D10 becomes D8, D8 becomes D6, etc. Oh, and the D4, just so you know, goes down to a 1 point of damage. So you're just like a mortal regular person hitting something. Next up, we have Hammer Blow. The damage for the dice increases by one size, and you must have 2 hands free to declare an unarmed strike as a hammer blow. That's definitely the Captain Kirk move. And we have a headbutt. Target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take a point of exhaustion. Creatures must have a head to be susceptible to this effect. It makes sense. All right, exhaustion is a bit much, and so is, I feel like, the extra attack, because now you can flurry blows for 4 attacks essentially, in addition to your normal attacks.
Well, your flurry of blows you get 2 dice or 2 attacks, so this would get you to 3. Or you're saying each of them. Okay, so if you made both an elbow strike. All right, so yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit more, and exhaustion is pretty brutal. So okay, so we went with this one because thematic. We like the idea, and we think there's something here to work with. And these probably need to be reworked a little bit. The style strike concept is cool enough, but maybe, that's too many attacks, and
Right.
exhaustion is too good of a thing to be able to do to someone.
So, like, since monks already have the ability to stun, like perhaps the headbutt gives a free use of stunning fist. But like each of these styles would have like a cap. Like you can use one style in your flurry of blows. So like you would get the free stunning fist, or you would get the free additional attack. But like you should only be able to get one style when you flurry a blow.
Yeah, not for each of them.
Not for each attack.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion.
That would definitely be a good start.
But I would also like to see some other things,
some more options.
So possibly stealing a little bit from the Battle Master, but that's just me. But 6th level, you're going to get Boxing Guard. You can use a reaction to block a melee attack. When you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced by your unarmed damage strike plus your strength modifier plus monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can spend 1 key point to make a single unarmed strike against that opponent as part of the same reaction if the target is within your reach. I kind of like this one, but I mean, they already get kind of like a deflect missiles.
Mm-hmm.
So like, this is like I'm going to block and counter in melee. So I don't know how I feel about that one.
I mean, I'm okay with it, and here's why. Like, it is the equivalent to what you can do versus missiles. So it's right on par with that. And then, but addition, like, I mean, the rogue gets uncanny dodge, which is literally halves the damage. Which in some cases this might not even do that. Depending when you get up there, you're getting it a little bit sooner. It's a reaction. You have to choose what to do with your reactions. I think I'm okay with it.
The thing that I like about it that definitely pushes it more on the good side is it's about your strength modifier, which the typical monk does not use. So like this is implying that you should be using strength for this particular class if it hasn't already been stated. I mean, it is in the Constitution save for the headbutt, but again, we didn't like that particular notion anyway.
Yeah, like a different effect other than exhaustion would have definitely worked. But here's the thing too, like you have to reduce them to 0, then you can spend a key point in order to get that extra attack. So it's not even like you're guaranteed to get that extra attack.
Correct. You have to reduce the damage to 0 for that to happen. But, you're only limited by your reaction, so you can do this for every melee attack, or for any melee attack every round. So, not bad.
And your key points. Once you run out of key points, you can't do it.
Well,
you can do the block.
You can do the block for free once a round, as long as you still have your reaction.
Yes. It's like being a rogue.
Yeah.
Break stuff. At 11th level, your fists count as adamantium. Whenever you make a strength check to break objects, you add your full proficiency bonus to the roll. So, I think the wording's not right here, right? It should be more like athletics check.
Right.
Like you use athletics to break stuff. If you already have athletics, do you still add your proficiency modifier? So I think this is more of a wording thing. Your fist counting as adamantium means absolutely nothing. In the game, anything that would be affected by adamantium would also be affected by magic. And your fists are already magic.
Right.
That's why I bring that up. So it's more of a flavor thing. It would be almost like making your fist adamantium at 3rd level would be way cooler, but only for like 2 levels or 3 levels or whatever it ends up being.
I believe they get it at 6th.
Yeah.
So what I would do here is I would call the ability, as opposed to break stuff, adamantine fists, and I would say is you gain proficiency in strength athletics if you don't already have it. If you already have it, you gain expertise for the case of breaking objects.
Or you could go full on siege weapon, where you just do double damage against objects.
That would be kind of cool as well. I mean, if you're looking to be just like, all right, I'm just gonna punch my way through, that would be really, really fun, and it would be up to the player as to how they're going to make use of that cool ability, because it doesn't really matter all that much for combat, because
Yeah, it's not a combat ability at all. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. There's some tweaks there, or maybe even like put a key cost on it to do extra stuff when you're trying to break stuff.
I like that too.
Knockout punches are capstone ability.
At 17th level, when you hit someone with an arm strike, you can spend 3 key points to attempt to immediately knock the opponent out. The target must make a Constitution saving throw or fall unconscious. If the target succeeds, they instead take 10 die 10 bludgeoning damage. Ouch.
Yeah, that one's a bit much. I mean, the
think,
fact that like it's like either knockout or 10d10 points of damage.
So like the term knockout, are you talking about like putting them to sleep?
Unconscious, I would say the unconscious condition.
So like unconscious is not all that big a deal unless it's like a solo enemy, because like typically an ally can just stir you awake. So you only lose the time frame until an ally can get to you, which can be drastic depending upon the situation. I totally see them like drawing from like One Punch Man on this one. Mm-hmm. To do 10 die 10 as a single ability. But your 17th level, you can do this 5 times in a day. I think that's too much. So like, as opposed to having it do key points, I would say like you can do this once a day, unless you spend, and I would say like at minimum like 5 to 6 key points. To seriously limit this kind of thing. And even then, monks get key points back so fast. I would dare say like it takes 10 key points to do it a second time.
I think the what is the grave monk? The kind of like the death monk, Undying Fist, mm-hmm. or Long Death Fist, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they can spend key points up to a certain amount and do 20d10 points of damage, but there's a saving throw for half.
Right.
Which would basically put you at 10d10 if they make that save. But also, like, I think you're blowing 10 key points to do it.
Right.
So they can only literally do it twice a day at 20th level.
Well, twice per rest.
Twice per rest. True.
So I would say, like, maybe if you fall into that kind of bracket, 3 key points to do 10 die 10 points of damage, that's just a no.
Yeah, I mean, if it was 3 and then save for half, it might be different. The unconscious, the unconscious thing is a bit much.
I think that part's a bit much. Doing the straight damage for that and save for half, I'm cool with, but not at that kind of key.
Maybe a stun that you make a saving throw for every round. A damage plus stun.
Yeah.
And half damage and no stun. Something along those lines. I think there's something there. It needs to be tweaked. Like I said, we picked this one because thematically we feel like we're missing this style monk. So I think it's a cool idea.
I like the idea, and I like the foundation that is here. As always, there's just, suggestions that we have. I'm certain that, some people might like the revision ideas. Some people might like it as is. It's definitely strong, but there's things that can make it a little bit more balanced.
Question is, would you allow this in your game? Would you tweak it? What tweaks would you make? Have you made stuff over on the D&D Beyond Homebrew yourself and put it up there? Share your ideas with the Nerdarchy community down in the comments below.
While you're down there, don't forget to do all those things to make YouTube and Nerdarchy happy. Like, share, subscribe, even go ahead and stunning fist that notification bell.
Quick reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we drop new videos here on the channel. Come on back and see what's new. Can't wait till then. We got you covered. Don't worry. You can check out the top D&D Homebrew for cleric subclasses, or cleric domains, I should say. There'll be a link up here to check those out.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.